Hey guys, it's Sophie Cunningham here. I'm finally in Indiana and I am so excited to be here and meet all of you. See you guys at the game. Bye.
Sophie Cunningham isn't sounding like someone who doesn't want to be in Indiana. In fact, she's bringing her signature toughness to the Fever, ready to make a strong impact alongside Caitlin Clark and the rest of the team.
Finally here! All right.
While Cheryl Swoops claimed no one wants to play for the Indiana Fever, Sophie Cunningham was busy proving the opposite, celebrating her move and embracing the challenge. From her press conference to intense workouts and social media buzz, one thing is clear. The Fever just landed a game changer. And the doubters? They're in for a surprise. In this video, we'll break down Sophie's thoughts on Caitlin Clark and the Fever, her high-energy first day with the team, and how she's silencing the skeptics. Let's get into it.
Oh gosh, this is the first time I've seen my jersey. Oh, I love this. It's like I'm a rookie all over again.
What if I told you that while Cheryl Swoops was saying no one wants to play for Indiana, Sophie Cunningham was soaking up the sun in Phoenix when she got the trade call? And her reaction? Not frustration, not doubt, just pure excitement.
Where were you when you found out about this, and what was kind of that general reaction to a fresh start here?
Yeah, you guys will learn that if I'm not in the gym, I'm normally by the pool. And so I was actually poolside when I found out. And, there's a lot of emotions just because I have been out there for so long. But to be honest, my original thought was like, oh, heck yeah. Like, we're about to go win a championship. Like, that's exactly where my mind went. And like I said, it's all about the people. It's about the culture. I learned a lot out there, but now I'm ready to move on to something bigger, something better, and have a lot of really great players around me to, seriously go win a championship.
Exactly. The narrative that top players don't want to join the Fever just got shattered. While critics kept pushing their doubts, Sophie was already locking in on a championship mindset in Indiana. It's a sharp contrast to all the negativity swirling around.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I'm so excited. I think it's refreshing. I've been in Phoenix for the past 6 years, was drafted out there. I've had a really great time. I've been very blessed with being around a lot of GOATs in the game and learning the game on another level. But again, this is just a new style. And this is the style that I thrive in. When you have people who can shoot the ball, who move the ball, who are running gunners, and share the ball, this is the type of offense that I want to be in.
The moment Sophie walked into Gainbridge Fieldhouse, her excitement was undeniable. The Fever's social media team caught it all, her genuine joy as she explored her new home, a moment that quickly went viral. From the start, Sophie introduced herself with nothing but energy and enthusiasm.
I'm just stoked. And like I said, the offense is more my style, but I'm also surrounded by a great culture and great people. And that's what I'm also very excited about, to be here in Indiana.
For Sophie, this trade is more than just a career move. It's a homecoming. As a Missouri native, returning to the Midwest brings a sense of familiarity and pride. I love it, she shared with the Indiana media. My roots are here in the Midwest. For her, this isn't just a new chapter, it's a personal return to where she belongs.
How impactful will it be for you and your family to be back here in the Midwest, something that Caitlin had as well, and within driving distance for everyone, right?
I love it. My roots are here in the Midwest, and just to be closer to home. My sister is married and has a kid, has another one on the way, and family is everything to me. I have a really great support system, and you better believe I've already had over 100, 200 people reach out. Hey, how do we get season tickets? I was like, I have no idea. I just got traded 2 hours ago. So I think we're going to have a pretty cool fan base up here from Missouri. But again, it's my Midwest roots. I'm excited to be around Midwesterners again. It's my type of people, and so I'm happy to be here.
What makes Sophie's arrival so powerful is the immediate impact she's having on team chemistry. In a league where star players sometimes bring big egos, she's focused on something different. Building a selfless, team-first culture from day one.
I'm just excited, but to be honest, I think when you have a group that can let go of the egos and you're really just here to win and work hard, I think that's the best type of group, and you're all willing to do the dirty work, and I think that's what I'm most excited about. That's my bread and butter right there, is outwork your opponents and have fun doing it.
Fans couldn't hide their excitement, lighting up social media with support as they eagerly anticipated Sophie's debut. The connection was instant. No adjustment period needed. Sophie didn't just join the Fever. She embraced the team and its culture from the very start.
Now that I've been here, and I have been paying a lot more attention to it, and it's crazy, right? Like it's a whirlwind, and there's an adjustment period not only for her, but for her teammates around her, for Indiana as a whole. But I think it's all really good things, and so it takes a little bit to get adjusted to it. But after that, I mean, come on, it's part of something great that doesn't come around very often, and so if you're not paying attention, I don't know what you're doing.
This is precisely the kind of player the Fever needed. Someone who genuinely wants to be there, believes in the team's vision, and brings both skill and passion to the locker room. Meanwhile, critics like Swoops continue to push outdated narratives, but players like Sophie are proving with their actions that Indiana is quickly becoming a destination franchise in the WNBA.
I know you said earlier this month that you'd do the Sabrina Carpenter to Caitlin's Taylor Swift.
That was a joke, but I guess people really took that seriously.
People love it. What excites you about playing with her this year?
I mean, she has changed our game in the best possible way in every way. And so just to be alongside of her and maybe relieve the pressure, being able to shoot and spread the court for her to go do her thing.
Remember how opponents targeted Caitlin Clark last season? The cheap shots, the hard screens, and all the extra contact after the whistle. Well, the Fever just made a game-changing move. They brought in exactly what Clark needed, an enforcer. Now there's someone on the court making sure opponents think twice before trying anything.
Still young, and I think that I've been taken under, Diana took me under her wing, and I've learned a lot from her, and now I hope to kind of do the same for Caitlin if she wants it. I just think the relationship piece is huge, and when you're trying to do something great, it takes everybody, and so I want her to go do her thing, and anything she needs from me, I'm going to be here. But again, I think that like just the competitor that I am, I'm fierce, I'm sassy, I stick up for my teammates, stick up for myself, and so sometimes I think that's okay to be feisty and to be yourself.
Sophie Cunningham isn't just adding talent to the Fever, she's bringing grit. Known as one of the WNBA's toughest competitors, she's the type of player who commands respect on the court. And in her first press conference, she didn't hold back. I'm fierce, I'm sassy, I stick up for my teammates, and I stick up for myself. Those last 5 words might be exactly what Caitlin Clark needed to hear this offseason.
Excited to play in front of the fans. I think that she's drawn a lot of people, not only to Indiana, but to the women's game as a whole. And so just to be a part of something great, just really happy to be here.
Let's be real. Last season was rough for the rookie superstar. Game after game, we watched Caitlin Clark take hits, get shoved, and be targeted with little to no consequences. The physical play kept ramping up, yet her teammates rarely stepped in to push back. It felt less like basketball and more like a one-sided fight, with Clark left to fend for herself.
Caitlin Clark was getting hit a lot. She was getting hit a lot early, and they needed their Charles Oakley. You've got that in Sophie Cunningham.
This is where Sophie Cunningham changes the game. In Phoenix, she earned a reputation as the ultimate enforcer, always ready to stand up for her teammates. Opponents knew that if they went after the Mercury Stars, they'd have to answer to Sophie. Now she's bringing that same fire to Indiana, making it clear that Caitlin Clark and the entire Fever squad won't be facing the physicality alone this season.
So many videos of Sophie Cunningham just starting brawls.
What makes Sophie such a game-changing enforcer isn't just her toughness, it's her willingness to do whatever the team needs. She thrives in high-contact situations, battling through defenders and creating space for her teammates. This physicality fills a major void in last year's Fever lineup, which often struggled to hold its own when games got rough.
She hits a 3, Maisha Hines-Allen fouls her, and then tries to step over, and then Sophie Cunningham grabs her leg. Nobody's going near Maisha Hines-Allen, but no, Sophie Cunningham will start the fight. The refs are trying to break it up. None of the Mercury players are going to go near Maisha Hines-Allen. They're scared. She's scared of bejesus out of them. Maisha Hines-Allen is one of the toughest players in this league. Sophie Cunningham going head to head straight with her.
She drains a 3. Misha fouls her, then tries to step over, but Sophie Cunningham isn't having it. She grabs Misha's leg, and just like that, chaos erupts. No one dares to challenge Misha Island, but Sophie doesn't flinch. She's in the middle of it, ready to throw down while the refs scramble to restore order. The Mercury players keep their distance. Everyone knows how tough Misha Allen is, but Sophie, she's not backing down. She's ready to go head to head. With her,
Sophie Cunningham, in general, is just wild. Wild is the best word I can use to describe Sophie Cunningham. And like, it is just, it's carnage. Like, it's carnage a lot of the time when Sophie Cunningham gets involved with anything. The amount of fights that Sophie Cunningham has been involved in is mental.
When you're trying to do something great, it takes everybody. Sophie couldn't have been clearer. She's all in on supporting Caitlin Clark. I want her to do her thing. Anything she needs from me, I'm going to be here. Her mission in Indiana is simple: protect Clark. With her toughness, ability to absorb contact and knack for finishing plays, Sophie ensures that Clark can focus on her game without constantly looking over her shoulder.
I've always been a huge fan of Stephanie White, and I'm not kidding. We in college we played. I played. She coached against me and whatnot, and so we've known each other for quite a long time. And since I've been in the league, I was like, hey, when are you gonna coach me? You know, like, it was always just kind of a running joke, and it's been one for the past like 3 or 4 years. And so to finally all kind of come together just at the right time, I'm stoked. I think she's a heck of a coach. I love her offense. I love her approach to games and her approach to her players and the relationship she has with their players. And so I just think that we're gonna do something really special here and moving forward.
Having a true enforcer on the roster doesn't just help Caitlin Clark, it changes the game for the entire team. Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell will benefit from Sophie's physical presence, knowing she's there to set the tone. But more importantly, opposing teams will have to rethink their approach. The strategy of roughing up Clark now comes with a price, because with Sophie Cunningham on the floor, there will be real consequences.
In Sophie Cunningham, the Indiana Fever are trading for a multi-dimensional wing, capable of knocking down the three ball.
Cunningham is starting to cook. Cunningham 3 is good. Cunningham from the corner.
Locking down defenders.
Several deflections, and this time she gets the steal and the N1 opportunity.
And injecting passion and emotion into the game and into her team.
Sophie's impact goes beyond just being a physical enforcer. Her fit with the Fever is so seamless, it almost feels unfair to the rest of the league. While her toughness grabs the headlines, it's her elite shooting that could truly elevate Indiana's offense. Last season, she knocked down 38% of her three-point attempts, giving the Fever another dangerous shooter. With defenses focused on Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell, Sophie's ability to stretch the floor makes Indiana even harder to guard.
On offense, Cunningham is a floor spacer and a deep shot maker. Each of her last 3 seasons, she's finished top 20 in the WNBA in threes made per minute on the floor among qualified players. And she will join a backcourt that features 2 of the top 5 three-point shot makers from a year ago, Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell.
Remember those frustrating stretches last season when defenses swarmed Caitlin Clark, sometimes collapsing? 3 or 4 players on her? When the ball swung to the perimeter, the Fever just didn't have enough consistent shooters to punish opponents, aside from Lexi Hull and Kelsey Mitchell. That's where Sophie Cunningham changes the equation. In her 2022 season, she averaged 12.6 points while shooting a scorching 40% from 3, numbers that even put her in the conversation for most improved player. With Sophie in the mix, defenses will have to think twice before overloading on Clark.
Over Cunningham's last 4 seasons, she shot an impressive 38% from the three-point line. And among players to hit at least 200 threes over that time, only 4 players in the entire league have shot it better from distance. One of those being Kelsey Mitchell. And Cunningham's ability to space the floor should give the Fever All-Star backcourt even more room to create on the drive than they had a year ago.
What makes this pairing so dangerous is how perfectly their styles align. Sophie couldn't hide her excitement when talking about the Fever's offensive approach. This is just a new style, and this is the style that I thrive in. When you have people who can shoot the ball, move the ball, who are running gunners and share the ball, this is the type of offense that I want to be in. With Indiana's fast-paced, unselfish system, Sophie's skill set fits like a glove, making the Fever even more lethal on offense.